About 21 years ago, I was living in a flat or an apartment, as you might call it, in London. It's one of those things we used to call a squat. And what a squat means is, it's not what it implies, but there was that too, but on a very minimal basis. A squat was if you could somehow gain access into an uninhabited premises, like a housing place, and you could prove that you didn't break in, you could then claim what was then known as squatters' rights. And so the council and the government had to rehouse you. So it was basically a cheap way of getting an apartment if you weren't, single mother or pregnant. So anyway, I had this squat, and I was an aspiring musician, and it was around about the time I first started trying my hand at writing. So I couldn't play anything then. Some may argue I can't play anything now, but that's another question entirely. So but what I did have is a little 4-track. You know what those are? A little Porter Studio. It has a little cassette. I don't know if they make them anymore. And you can multi-track things on them. It's for aspiring songwriters or musicians. And so I had one of those, and I decided to try an experiment to see if I could write a song just using vocal tracks. And so I emulated the strings, and I laid them down, and I bounced them, and then I did in my head what I thought the drums would be doing, and yada, yada, yada. So I came up with this thing which I thought was really embarrassing, and I wouldn't really play it to anyone, but about 4 years after that, a friend of mine who'd heard it convinced me to play it to a producer, and somehow it ended up on a record. And so if you know the words to it, then join in. If you don't, then join in anyway, because that'll make two of us.
Side of me, I've met the drug that's the high and the feel. But did you know when it snowed, my eyes become larger? The light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the green. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your roses are blue, a light hits the gloom on the green. Da 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 da. There's so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. Baby, to me you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know when it's so, my eyes become alive, and the light that you shine can't be seen. To a kiss from a rose on a grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your roses are bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Da 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 da. She is my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a girl addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know when it snows, my eyes become large with the light that you shine? Baby, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on a grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on a grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels. Yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Da da da. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
Thank you.